Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the world's biggest stars, and I've found one for you. Katherine Ryan, how are you?
I'm in the favourite people category.
No, you're in both. You're one of my favourite people. I got to see you very recently and I was blown away by you, and you're also one of the most incredible. Your energy and your material as a comedian is second to none. Congratulations.
That's really nice of you to say.
You tick every box, really. You've got original material, you're beautiful, you've got such high energy. I guess you were born to do this, were you?
I don't know. I look a lot better on telly than I do in real life. That's the honest truth. Some people just have a face that looks, that translates to TV but looks horrible on the street. Every time I see people who know me from Live at the Apollo or Mox a Week, they're like, oh dear, I can see the disappointment. But that's fine. I'm born to do it. I don't know. I didn't really consider growing up that I might be a comedian, but I always valued comedy. I always watched stand-up or, not live. I was too young to go. But I would watch David Letterman late night with my mom. That was my special treat to stay up on a Friday. And I always just thought that having a laugh was the most important thing in the world.
That's interesting because Letterman's one of my favourite people, and I love the American comedians like Joan Rivers and Don Rickles, the sort of gag people. You do have punchlines, and what I loved about your material was it crescendoed to a punchline every time. Congratulations again on that, because it's so rare.
Yeah, I have different influences because I'm an Irish citizen, so the storytelling was always part of my life growing up. My dad's from Cork, and I remember if we wanted attention as children, we had to come sit at the table and have a chat. It was never this like, oh, we'll cater to you, darling. We'll play what you want to play. I had to have a grown-up chat if I wanted to be involved in the evening. And then I'm North American. Like, I grew up in Canada, so a lot of my influences, like you say, are American stand-ups. And you need a punchline if you're going to do anything on a panel show or on telly. They don't want these stories with no ending. I think people like to know when it's time to laugh, like when the joke is done.
They sort of need a cue, don't they? I always feel bad for any comedian going on the likes of 8 out of 10 Cats. It's very hard to fit in because they're so clubby, those shows. You seem to do it seamlessly. What's the rule then if I'm a new comedian and I want to go on those shows?
I don't feel like it's harder being a woman, firstly. I think that I've heard people say before, oh, but it's so scary, which is so demeaning. I think the men are just as scared. Everybody's scared to go on a show, especially one like Mock the Week that's had 15 successful series and it's an institution of British panel show comedy. It's a wonderful show. I think that the people on it, these seasoned comedians, are very welcoming. And it's not the bear pit that it has a reputation of being. If you want to go on those shows, you have to audition. They do little castings for 8 out of 10 Cats. They're very fair. They have bookers who go around to all kinds of new stand-up shows. They see what they like, and then they invite you into the office, and you do a little pretend run-through, and they just decide if they think you're right for the show. Now, some people are very funny, but just not right for the show. And I do think for that format, you just need to be a good person, and then you'll be well-liked and supported by the seasoned comics on the show. And then you need to get your jokes in fast because the edit is very ruthless. It's only a 28-minute show. You've got to say what you want to say, and you got to do it quickly.
What I loved about the Palladium show, similar to people like Lisa Lampanelli and Kathy Griffin, who I particularly enjoy, you've got a real zinger to your punchline, and it can be the most wounding line in the world, but somehow you have a warmth that you get away with it. If I were to do some of your jokes, I think I'd probably be booed off. You can be cutting, can't you?
A little bit. My thing is the news and pop culture and the world of celebrity. I think celebrity's become a religion now, and we follow it so devotedly that you need to talk about it. But I don't feel that I'm dogging celebrities personally when I do so. I think I'm talking about a greater theme. So anything I say on stage, I would be comfortable saying to a celebrity's face. I think that on that night I said things about Cheryl Cole, and then I went backstage to thank Chelsea Handler for allowing me to support her tour, and Kate Beckinsale was in the room with her. Now she's a glamorous, very tiny woman with shiny hair. I thought for a split second that she was Cheryl Cole. And I had a moment of being nervous, and then I went, oh, you know what? It's all right. I think I could defend everything that I say.
What you do is so clever. You put a mirror up to these people, and I'm not sure whether they would even see themselves, because it's so ridiculous. What you point out, especially about the Justin Biebers of the world, you wonder how seriously he takes himself, because when we see him on TV, he doesn't seem to be smiling very much and doesn't seem to get the irony in how pitiful his life is.
Yeah, well, I think with Justin Bieber specifically, I hold a mirror up to the machine of, Justin Bieber is not a person anymore. There used to be a little human being in there. Not anymore. He's everyone's golden goose now, and he's become this machine. I feel so badly for Justin Bieber. Out of all of them, I just pity that poor young man. It never works out well, does it?
No.
Being a massive child star. I think we need to hear no in the world. We need to hear the word no. And that's why comedians, by and large, are wonderful people. Even at the top, like people like Jimmy Carr and Dara O'Brien, they're so kind and they're so humble, because stand-up is a slug all the time. They're always touring, and they hear the word no, whereas a little boy like Justin Bieber, God, no one ever says no to him. And he's not, he's just losing his humanity for it. It's very sad. And I think there's a lot of darkness in the world, darkness and comedy, and you have to make light of it. You have to find the light, I think.
What you also do beautifully is that thing of making the very small things very big and the very big things very small. You do that so effortlessly. I wonder, when you qualified as a comedian, was there a day you stood on stage and thought, okay, I can do this now with confidence and people are actually going to laugh?
No, I think that becoming a mother made my voice a lot stronger in all areas of my life. I did one thing very well, and I thought, oh, you know what? There are all kinds of people in the world who aren't going to approve of your choices or what you say or what you do, whether you're a comedian or whether you're working in an office or you're a mom, whatever it is. But you just have to have strength in your voice. And I mean, I think it's less of, it's not confidence. It's not like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do. It's just not giving a shit. It's like, there are people who aren't going to like you. And then what kind of person would I be if I expected everyone in the world to like me? That's madness. That's the definition of insanity. So you've just got to do it your way. And I think 8 out of 10 Cats helped me with that tremendously as well, because I auditioned for that show a few times as a starting stand-up, and I wasn't offered a spot the first year, and then the second year I was offered a spot. And I stood backstage ready to go on, and Jimmy Carr came in, and Mr. Sean Locke, and John Richardson, and this comedian Hannibal Buress from America. Stephen Mangan was on the show that day, just comedy heroes of mine, and I was really nervous. And I went, oh no, I can't compete with them. I can't help. What am I going to do? And you know when a cat catches a mouse, the mouse just goes limp. I think that's what happened. That's what happened. I just went, oh, you know what? I have no choice. I have no tools other than just going out and being my authentic self. And that worked. Luckily, I could have gone horribly wrong, but I think that no matter what you do, it's never going to go right unless you can find a way to be your authentic self.
So then let's fast forward 2 years and you find yourself in the wings at the Palladium, the world famous Palladium, the Palladium that's got about 10,000 seats in it. It feels like this huge cavern that you've got to fill. How do you get the confidence to walk out and kill it from the second you stand on that stage? It must be terrifying. Or are you so confident in your material now because it's tested that you knew you couldn't fail?
No, there's always the threat of failure, and that's, I think, what makes comedy so exciting. I love that I might fail, and on some nights I do, and I will again, and it's fine. I pretty much knew that Chelsea Handler's audience would be an audience that identifies with my kind of shtick anyway. I felt like they would be very kind. It was mostly industry and gays. I loved it. It was the best audience I could have asked for in the world. But no, I mean, it's not that I'm super confident. It's that I know that they're going to see Chelsea soon and they're going to have a great time doing that. All I can offer is my best. And if I don't do well, then who cares? Like, nobody dies. It's not as though I'm an orthopedic pediatric heart surgeon. It's not that much of an important job. I don't really care. I mean, I think, I don't know if it's motherhood or what it is, but I genuinely don't have an ego. If I do badly, then I do badly.
And I guess there's the next gig to look forward to, which you have many. You've got a tour coming up. You're, of course, in Edinburgh at the moment. Are you still enjoying it? How do you find the energy every night to come on and do it again and again and again? I know you can ad-lib. Is it hard to sort of repeat that over and over again?
I find the energy to do it every night just because it is so much what I love. So it's not something that you need to psych yourself up to do. It's really fun for me, and I know that people take time out of their schedule, or it'll be a big night out for some people, a date night, they've got the babysitter. I know that it's important to people, and I'm really lucky that they come see me at all, so I'm just really happy to go on stage and do it every night. I do change the show a little bit. I leave lots of room to chat to the audience and lots of room for ad-lib. And I think that it's important to keep your show fresh, maybe add at least one new joke or take something out or switch it a tiny bit every night. That's a bit dangerous because you never know when the reviewers are in.
Right.
So if you have a piece of your show that's new, you're like, But that's, again, what makes it exciting, and especially because everything that I am is topical. I love chatting about the news or what's happened. You have to change it because if I was still talking about, I don't know, Bill Clinton,
yes,
it wouldn't be a fresh experience for anyone.
What I love about you is that you seem to find yourself funny, and in all the greatest comedians I adore, they do. You look like you are having fun. That's infectious as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, it is so much fun. I have the best job in the world. And I do think I'm funny. Of course I do. I mean, I think it's not all the time, but I think you know when a joke is the right joke, or you want to talk about, especially with those panel shows. It's difficult for me to talk about the World Cup and make it funny, or certainly difficult for me to talk about some of the darker elements of the news and make it funny. And I think you write a few drafts and you go, oh, is this funny, is that funny? But when you've got it and you know that that's your angle on it, that's going to be your funniest angle, I think you know that you've cracked your own little comedy code. You go, oh no, that's the answer. You know when you've got the answer, just like math. There is a right answer and a wrong answer with comedy.
I was lucky enough to cover the Montreal Comedy Festival a few years ago, and it seemed to me that comedians aren't generally that classy. They're very happy to live badly in poor hotels and eat not necessarily great food. What kind of a touring comedian are you? Do you do it properly and nicely, or are you happy to just slum it with the rest?
Oh, I mean, who was it? It was Chelsea Handler, funnily enough, who said this, that she needed to get rich. She had to get rich because all her life, even when she was starting out as a comedian, she was buying dinners for her friends and going out and doing this and doing that and living as though she was rich. And I thought that was funny, the honest prickishness of it. I thought it was really funny. I'm that way as well. I was very rich in uni because I was a waitress, and in North America you get lots of tips being a waitress. So I was kind of a rich student all on my own. And then as a stand-up, I'm sorry, no, I'm not going to share a room with 5 other people, and I'm not going to spend 6 hours on the megabus. I'm just not. And if I'm going somewhere, I've got my daughter with me, then I'm taking the first class seat on the train. And if that means that I have to live in a tiny flat in London as 1 bedroom with a garden, then so be it, because I'm just not going to slum it, Alex. I just can't.
Do you know, it's funny, yesterday I had lunch with somebody and I was saying I've never understood, and there are stars I know who make millions a year who still live like that. If you don't spend it, you have to give it to the taxman anyway. Why don't they live well? There's something about some people in show business that always sort of like to be the underdog. I've never understood why you would turn right on a plane if you have the ability to turn left. It's extraordinary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't take the piss. I save money by, I don't go out. I don't really have a social life. You'd be amazed what people spend on drink and nights out.
Right.
But yeah, I always say I've been through too much of my life to take the bus.
I agree, and you deserve to. Catherine, I'm going to let you go because you've got this big run happening at Edinburgh. How's it going? You having fun?
Yeah, I'm having so much fun. My daughter's with me, and we just walk around Edinburgh all day. We see kids shows, we go shopping, and we have breakfast, and then we do the show. It's beautiful, beautiful time.
I think you've got the perfect life right now. You're credible, you're relevant, you're so of the day, and you have a massive, massive talent. It's very rare. I personally request to talk to comedians, most of which I find quite dull and repetitive. Certainly I'm not into the arena comedians at the moment, but you were so special, and you absolutely stole the show at the Palladium. You deserve to be a huge success, and I think you will be. When's the DVD coming out? That's the next thing. We need more people to see you.
I know. Well, the DVD market is changing. I don't know what's happening with it now, but I don't know. Soon, or maybe I'll do a thing and release it online. But that's something that we'll talk about this year for sure.
It's interesting, isn't it, about that DVD stuff? Where is comedy at right now? Is it in a good place, or do you just carry on regardless?
I think comedy is in a wonderful place right now, especially for women. I think it's changing. I think people in large numbers are realizing that women are actually funny, and there are so many opportunities for us. And it changes, but not in a bad way. I think, like anything else, comedy is just evolving, and we'll adapt to it. And if we don't make DVDs anymore, then that's fine. Then we'll release tours on Netflix or online. And I think the great thing is that we can do big arenas when we're very fortunate, and then we can also do these lovely little pub gigs every night of the week. So you can see a comedian intimately or otherwise. The thing that I think this season of Mock the Week proved is that they needed a woman on every show. They did so, but these women absolutely smashed it. They were really funny. Sarah Pascoe was great. Angela Barnes was great. Stevenson, Susan Calman, they were so good, all of them. In the autumn, I'm going to go back and do another one. My friend Aisling B. So I think the tokenism argument is gone now, because these women absolutely hit it out of the park. They were super funny, and they'll be funny again.
I agree. Good luck with everything in the future. Do catch Katherine Ryan. She's online and got a website as well where you can see you touring the UK. Big tour coming up through the autumn.
Yes, I'm touring the UK from the end of September until the end of November.
Listen, let me come and catch you on tour and see the full show. You are brilliant, you are unique, and she's a huge talent. Katherine Ryan, thanks for talking to me.
Thanks